The Korean Demilitarized Zone, 2 a.m. November 28th, a biting freezing cold. Total darkness. 3 U.S. Marines, a routine border patrol, just 200 meters from North Korean territory. Then suddenly, gunfire explodes from the darkness. Not from the south, from the north. 20 North Korean soldiers. They were crossing the DMZ, shattering the armistice. Moving hard and fast, straight for the American position. The Marines radioed for immediate backup, but it was too late. They were cut off, surrounded. Within minutes, they were captured. Hours later, North Korean state media made the announcement. 3 American spies had been arrested. Caught while illegally infiltrating the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Pyongyang's demand a $20 billion ransom. Pay it, or the Marines would be executed. Kim Jong-un believed America would bend, that they would pay, that they would back down. It was a catastrophic miscalculation, because what North Korea didn't know was this. The USS Makin Island, an amphibious assault ship carrying 2,000 battle-ready Marines. It was just 60 miles off the coast. And the U.S. military had just greenlit a rescue plan. A plan so aggressive, so overwhelming, that in 17 hours, those 3 Marines would be free. This is that story. The story of the most daring Marine rescue since Vietnam. The operation that sent shockwaves through North Korea. And the day Kim Jong-un learned, America does not negotiate with kidnappers. The Korean DMZ, 4 kilometers wide, 250 kilometers long, the most heavily fortified border on Earth. 2 million North Korean soldiers on one side, 28,000 American troops on the other. For 70 years, a tense, uneasy peace. A peace punctuated by shouting matches and minor incidents. But it was never all-out war. Until 2:34 a.m. November 28th. 3 U.S. Marines, Sergeant James Mitchell, Corporal David Chen, and Lance Corporal Sarah Rodriguez were on a routine night patrol. The Korean DMZ, the southern edge. A standard patrol, night vision active, radio checks every 15 minutes. All quiet, but then at 2 a.m., a routine call erupted into the sound of gunfire. Contact, contact. The desperate cry North Korean soldiers crossing the line. We have over 20 hostiles. We are... And then silence. The line went dead. At the Joint Security Area Command, chaos. Satellites were retasked. Drones diverted. What they saw was a nightmare. 23 North Korean Special Forces operators. They had crossed deep into the DMZ, but not over the line itself. That would have been instantly detected. A fatal mistake. No. They had tunneled underneath, emerging just 50 meters from the Marine Patrol. A perfectly executed ambush. The 3 Marines fought back hard. Training took over, rifles spitting fire into the darkness. But it was 23 against 3. They were surrounded, outnumbered, outgunned, and running out of ammunition. At 2 a.m., the fight was over. The Marines were overwhelmed and captured, dragged from the battlefield, and pulled into North Korean territory. By 3 a.m., they were inside a secret North Korean military complex. An underground bunker, cold interrogation rooms. By 4 a.m., Pyongyang's propaganda machine roared to life. The announcement 3 U.S. Marine spies had been apprehended, caught while conducting illegal reconnaissance. Their claim had happened inside the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. They alleged full confessions to espionage and declared the men would face revolutionary justice. There was only one way to stop it, a ransom of $20 billion and a formal public apology from the United States for what they called 7 decades of aggression. The world woke up to an international crisis. 3 United States Marines held hostage by the most unpredictable regime on the planet. CNN, the BBC, Al Jazeera, every major network broke the story. The headline was the same everywhere. North Korea captures U.S. Marines. In Washington, the White House Situation Room was already at capacity. The Joint Chiefs, the Director of the CIA, the Secretary of Defense. The discussion was short. The options were grim. First, diplomacy. Negotiate through back channels. This could take weeks. There was no guarantee of success. The second option, military force. A high-risk mission that could ignite a full-scale war. The third option, wait, a fatal mistake. But the president's decision was already made. We do not negotiate for hostages. We do not pay ransom. And we sure as hell do not abandon our Marines. The order was given. You have full authorization. Bring our people home by any means necessary. At 0500 hours, just 3 hours after the capture, Operation Lightning Rescue was a go. The single largest Marine rescue mission since the fall of Saigon was about to begin. The USS Makin Island, 60 miles off the Korean coast. At 0600 hours, 2,000 Marines stood ready. 40 helicopters, 20 amphibious assault vehicles, an army of special operations forces. The mission: infiltrate North Korea, locate the captured Marines, and extract them. Get out before the enemy even knew they were there. The odds were impossible, but for the United States Marine Corps, impossible was not a factor. Intelligence agencies worked against the clock. CIA satellites shifted their gaze from the heavens. The NSA listened, intercepting enemy communications. Special reconnaissance drones took to the sky. By 0800 they had it, a location, an underground military installation, 12 miles deep inside hostile territory. It was a fortress, guarded by 200 soldiers, ringed with anti-aircraft defenses, a command bunker buried deep. Inside, 3 Marines were being held in a detention block. Basement level, reinforced concrete, a tomb. Multiple locked steel doors stood in the way. The plan was audacious. Some would even call it suicidal. Phase 1 F-35 stealth fighters. Their job: eliminate all North Korean air defenses within a 10-mile radius of the target. Phase 2. The V-22 Ospreys would go in hard and fast. The objective: insert the 44th Recon Marines 3 miles from their target. Phase 3. Ground assault. Breach the facility. Locate the prisoners. Get them out. Phase 4. 22 Ospreys would extract all personnel. Above F-35s would provide air cover. They had just 27 minutes inside North Korean territory. If anything went wrong, if they were delayed, if enemy reinforcements arrived, or if their extraction failed, 40 Marines would be trapped alone deep inside North Korea. The potential for casualties was catastrophic. The political consequences could trigger an all-out war. But the order was given. At 7:45 p.m., just 17 hours after the capture, Operation Lightning Rescue was launched. 4 F-35 Lightning stealth fighters ripped into the night sky. They took off from Osan Air Base in South Korea, flying low, dangerously low. They were ghosts, invisible to North Korean radar. At 8:12 p.m., they crossed the line into hostile airspace. At 8:15 p.m., they unleashed Hell, AGM-88 HARM missiles. Their targets were North Korean radar installations, a fatal mistake for the enemy. 8 precision strikes, 8 targets, 8 direct hits. The North Korean air defense system went completely dark. At 8:18 p.m., the door was open. 4 V-22 Ospreys stormed across the border into North Korean territory. They flew nap of the earth, hugging the terrain. A single detection would mean mission failure. Each Osprey carried 10 Force Recon Marines. They were the most elite warriors in the entire U.S. military. At 8:31 p.m., wheels down, they landed 3 miles from the target facility. 40 Marines loaded with full combat gear, night vision, silenced weapons. They moved like shadows through hostile territory. Their destination: a fortified enemy bunker. At 8:48 p.m., they reached the perimeter. Inside, an estimated 200 North Korean soldiers. Outside, only 40 Marines. The assault began. Breaching charges detonated on the main door. Flashbangs, controlled bursts of suppressed gunfire. The North Korean guards never knew what hit them. The Marines moved through the corridors like ghosts. Speed, precision, violence of action. They found at basement level detention block 3, more locked doors. The team plants more breaching charges. The doors are blown from their hinges, and inside, 3 U.S. Marines, bruised, exhausted but alive. A single voice cuts through the chaos: U.S. Marines, we're getting you out. The time: 8:56 p.m., just 8 minutes after the assault began. All 43 men, rescuers and rescued, were moving to the extraction point. But they weren't in the clear. The North Korean military command had been alerted. Reinforcements were mobilizing. 2 battalions, tanks, and helicopters. The race against time was on. At 9:02 p.m., the Ospreys touched down at the extraction point. As the Marines scrambled aboard, enemy forces were just 3 miles out and closing fast. The clock read 9:04. Then a new threat emerged from the darkness. North Korean attack helicopters crested the horizon. But they weren't alone. So did 4 F-35s. Air-to-air missiles streaked across the night sky. The North Korean gunships, were destroyed before they could even engage. 9:07 p.m. All Ospreys were wheels up, banking hard and heading south, full speed. At 9:23 p.m., they crossed the line back into South Korean airspace. Mission complete. 3 Marines rescued. 0 American casualties. As for North Korea's response, silence, a complete media blackout. Because admitting what really happened would be an impossible humiliation. At 2 a.m., 3 U.S. Marines were captured by North Korean forces. By 8:48 p.m. that same day, a 40-man team of Force Recon Marines breached the enemy compound. Only 8 minutes later, at 8:56 p.m., the 3 captive Marines were free. By 9:07 p.m., all personnel were extracted. Mission accomplished. Today, those 3 rescued Marines continue to serve. Sergeant Mitchell, Corporal Chen, and Lance Corporal Rodriguez. Each was awarded the Bronze Star for their conduct while in captivity. And the 40 Marines who went into the dark to bring them home, most remain anonymous. Their work in special operations is by necessity classified. But their actions send a message that resonates loud and clear. North Korea made a fatal miscalculation. Their demand, $20 billion, or the execution of 3 American Marines. But America's response would not be money. It would not be negotiation. It would not be an apology. The response was 40 elite Marines and 4 of 35 fighters. 4 Osprey aircraft delivering one single unmistakable message. We do not leave our people behind, ever. Kim Jong-un thought capturing 3 U.S. Marines would give him leverage. Instead, it unleashed a storm he was powerless to stop. A lightning raid he could never admit even happened. The setting North Korea, the demilitarized zone. The lesson, this is what happens when you kidnap United States Marines. 27 minutes, 0 American casualties. 3 Marines are home because Marines never fight alone, and America never ever abandons them. Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always rescued, never left behind.